We start tonight at 6 with new questions for St. Louis County leaders involving more than $15 million in funds that have not been spent. This is First Alert 4 at 6. I'm Samantha Jones.
And I'm Corey Stark. The funds meant to fight opioid addiction were awarded to the county in a settlement from an opioid lawsuit.
And tonight, First Alert 4 investigator David Amilati gets answers on why those millions are left sitting.
It's strange to be in here. I haven't been in here in a minute.
Gabrielle Cruz-Whiteside filled with mixed emotions. Back in her childhood home in St. Louis County, everywhere she looks, she's reminded of her brother John, who died of a fentanyl overdose in 2018.
He was so much loved. He just didn't see that, and I loved him so much.
She says John's substance use progressed after he was prescribed Xanax for his anxiety, eventually turning to fentanyl, a synthetic opioid which can be 50 times stronger than heroin.
Just got to the point where with the dependency and tolerance that was the only thing that worked to give him the kind of comfort that he needed.
John's story is one of many local nonprofit Mission Gate Christian Center knows too well, an agency on the front lines combating our region's overdose crisis.
We help people that are coming in from jail and prison that want to change their life around.
Joyce Fields says nearly every person they support has a substance use issue. Helping them get back on their feet costs money, from housing to employment and getting a driver's license.
Most of our funding we're a nonprofit, so it's just donors.
John's death and Mission Gate offer a small glimpse at why states attorneys general nationwide sued makers and distributors of opioids, alleging overprescribing of addictive drugs. Missouri and local governments expected to get hundreds of millions of dollars from the opioid settlement lawsuit over an 18-year span. The payments started in December 2022. St. Louis County receiving nearly $16 million so far, but a records request showed it has not spent any of it. Mission Gate staff tells First Alert 4 Investigates there are vital services these dollars could support and expand.
It would help us be able to open up more doors. We would be able to open up new facilities if we were able to get more funding.
We took those concerns to St. Louis County Executive Sam Page.
What proof do you have of a plan the county has to spend those dollars, or is there not a current plan in place?
No, we're still listening to everyone. You know, this is an ongoing resource that will continue for about 15 years, and we want to make sure that we put those investments where they'll have the biggest bang.
He says the county wants to spend those dollars in the community, but says investing in new programs, on top of having to spend federal dollars already on hand, is a lot of work for his staff.
The money's in an account. It's drawing interest and earning interest and growing. And we're glad that it's safe, and we're glad that it's earning interest, and we'll move that along when we have a process to do that. We're still going to spend some time listening to people like we have for the past year to make sure we're making good decisions.
St. Louis County has published 2 substance use action plans since 2018. They outline several areas of focus on how to combat addiction. The plan lists a dozen partners at the time actively carrying out these goals. Back at Mission Gate, staff say these dollars can save lives in St. Louis County. They say proof is in a small grant the agency's Crawford County facility already received, an hour and a half southwest of St. Louis near Cuba.
Now we can, go and pick them up from the areas they're getting out of. It's helping the residents to be able to save that money and being able to help us instead of having to put that initial, 2-3 week coverage of transportation costs.
Mission Gate tells First Alert 4 they haven't been asked for input from St. Louis County or been asked to apply for these funds.
That's when he graduated high school.
Back in her childhood home in Fenton, Gabrielle hopes the county invests these dollars in groups tackling prevention, treatment, and recovery. Because as these settlement dollars go unused and more time passes with no action, the consequence is more people losing their life to addiction in St. Louis County.
It's still a huge issue. I know a lot of people that are tackling the issue every day, but it just doesn't seem like it's enough.
Now, the county's opioid settlement funds can only be appropriated through ordinances. So we asked County Council Chair Rita Hurd Days for an interview to explain any plans. She did not reply to our emails and phone calls. In the studio, David Amilati, First Alert 4 Investigates.
St. Louis County is not alone. Right now, there are 12 cities and counties in our area whose allocations have not been touched. That includes Jefferson County, which is sitting on nearly $7 million and won't spend any of it until all litigation is resolved. Meanwhile, the city of St. Charles has around $500,000. The mayor there telling us he wants to use the funds to tackle homelessness in the area.